On today's episode of Turtle Table Talk, Soror Lyneé Griggs hosts a discussion about lupus erythematosus and the effect it's had on her life as well as others within the African American community. She is joined by co-host chapter presidents Soror Ardisha Williams and Sorors Keena Hardin and Sherry Dozier, whose sister also has lupus.
They about to break it down. Hey, let's do it.
Everything good?
Oil.
Oh my God.
All right, so you ladies ready to talk?
Yep, I think I'm ready. Let me check my hair real quick.
Good. We're good.
So let's do
We
it.
got my oil. I got that shit.
All right. Yeah.
Our conversation today is going to be what, ladies?
Lupus. I like that.
All right.
I'm happy lupus is a topic. I don't know anything about lupus.
Well, today you'll learn a lot.
Oh, school today.
Okay.
All right.
So what are we talking about? First, the main question is, what is lupus?
Yes.
Why don't you explain it to us?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease where your immune system fights itself. Basically, your immune system is built to fight off foreign objects, infections, things of that sort. But with lupus, your body actually turns on itself and it fights the good tissue in your body.
That sounds horrible. Is there a cure?
There is not a cure currently.
Not right now.
So there is a lot of research that is going on to help find this cure.
So how do you even know that you have lupus?
That's a good question, but a hard question also.
Okay.
Lupus can look like several different things. And in the beginning, when I was diagnosed, I was told I had MS. Then I was told I had several tests done for about 3 months. I mean, everything from spinal taps to bone marrow biopsies to skin biopsies.
Wow.
Then I was told I had cancer. And then finally, a good 3.5 months later, 2 hospitals later, about 12 doctors later, I was diagnosed with lupus. So it all varies, it depends. A lot of blood work done. Symptoms can vary from fatigue, shortness of breath, skin rashes, lesions,
Weight gain is a big
weight gain, weight loss,
Right, yeah.
hair loss. So it can look like a tremendous amount of different diseases, unfortunately. So that's why it takes so long for it to actually be diagnosed.
Okay. So can you explain what cultures or groups of people actually can get lupus?
So wait, I think that lupus probably is minorities gets it more than others because there's no cure. So, when there's no cure.
Unfortunately, she is correct.
Oh no.
Yes, it is. African Americans are more likely to have lupus. Who else?
Is it more like towards women or just
It's
men?
about 90% of women
Okay.
that are diagnosed with lupus. There are several men that have it,
Okay.
but unfortunately it's about 90% of women and women of color. Hispanic women, African American women are more likely to get lupus than any other race.
So how often do you experience symptoms?
Again, it varies. It literally comes out of nowhere. You can get, they're called flare-ups. For instance, 2 days ago, I had a flare-up. And a flare can look like anything from me going to the hospital to me being home feeling like I got hit with a Mack truck or put through a grinder. Yes. See, the other day, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, I believe I called you here. And out of nowhere, I'm babysitting and I just felt lethargic. I was weak, fatigued. I felt nauseated, swollen, headache, just out of nowhere. And it was terrible. I I just felt like I couldn't move. And one of my friends had to go pick up my son from school. And initially I thought maybe I was going to have to go to the hospital, but you know, sometimes you just try to tough it out. So it literally comes from anywhere.
So if there's no cure, when you go to the hospital, what do they do? Oh.
Great question. Great question. So I hate going to the hospital. You know, 9 times. Right. Because it's 9 times out of 10. And that's another reason why I try to tough it out. When I say, okay, sometimes you try to differentiate, like, should I go? Is it do or die, or should I just try to tough it out? Because they don't know how to treat you 95% of the time. And again, it looks like so many different things. Even when you tell them it's lupus, they end up keeping you in the hospital.
Right, trying to figure something different to try to pinpoint what's actually going on.
Exactly. And she's very familiar also because her sister suffered from lupus.
Oh wow. Can you tell us about your sister's experience?
Pretty
Or
much.
how it impacts
How
you?
it impacts you?
Well, it impacts me because I was going to actually move back to Missouri with my sister where I'm from. And I was going to move in with her because basically I didn't know how long she was going to be able to work. I mean, like she said, the flare-ups, what they call it, she was having things like she would swell up, or actually when she had a flare, she also contracted COVID at the same time. So it was just like awful. So she stayed in the hospital for about a week. She wasn't eating anything. She was just like super tired. She was swollen up, and then she lost a lot of weight, just kind of back and forth. And so it's just been a tough and difficult thing, like for our family in general.
So as her support, what do you do to help? Like, how can we support Annette?
Just calling and checking to see if they need anything. I check on her on a regular basis. If she needs someone to get her something, I'm always there. But just being that support and just letting them know that someone is there to help you through the tough times, because like she said, when you go to the hospital, they have no clue what to do.
And that's the best thing, honestly, as far as helping. And that's really all you can do, really. It's just being there for someone. You know what I mean? Believing them. And I know that sounds silly because lupus is an invisible disease.
Like fibromyalgia, one of those, like.
And actually, it's pretty close.
Okay.
It's pretty close. It's almost one and the same. It's pretty close. Because, you know, you may look up to par and, you know, you have the hair.
I mean, look at your hair. You look so good.
Thank you, girl. Right? And that's what they say. You know, well, you look fine. What's the problem? It's because lupus attacks you internally. So yes, it does external because there's several different types of lupus, but 9 times out of 10 you can't see lupus. Right. So
do you think the stereotype of like black women going to the hospital as well affects your experience with them? Because I feel like, you know, when I go to the doctor and I may have an issue, it's like, you know, they kind of already have this generalization that, you know, we can deal with certain circumstances better than other races because we're black.
Or hospital care.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's what we here for.
You know, with us, this stems way back.
Yeah.
Way back. You know, things were put on our shoulders way back. You know what I mean? So we're already assuming that we can handle so much, and we're supposed to, but really we're not supposed to, because stress kills in all aspects. And definitely with me, that's the #1 trigger is stress. Okay, so literally when they say stress can kill you, it can kill you.
So wait, so if you are like about to argue with your partner, you can be like, "Don't stress me out." Like you're literally putting my life at risk. Does that shut it down?
Said that word for word.
Do you win the argument automatically?
Oh, no.
I wish that was the case. If that's the case, I'm throwing it out
All the time.
Right.
I'm getting stressed.
My heart's at stake.
You being an entrepreneur and being involved with Iota Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated, how is your work-life balance? Like, what are some things that you're doing to relieve some of that stress?
Basically, I had to learn how to pace myself. For me, I do still have issues where I feel like I have to go. Okay, so, and that's just me, that's my personality. But especially as I've gotten older, I've learned to listen to my body. And it's more or less, if it says, okay, it's time, sit it on down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to take this minute. And a lot of times I never wanted to disappoint people, especially when you make plans and you do things. And I'm always the type, like, I have to follow through. You know, your word is everything. That's me. But I come to the conclusion, it's like, well, if you love me, you'll understand my situation.
Exactly.
And then all I have to do is explain that to you. So that's how I kind of cope with it.
And so what I do notice the similarities between her and my sister is that on the outside they always look put together, always together. But in the inside, and that's why I always check on her, that's why I call my sister, like, what's really going on? Because I know people, you're never gonna show people what's really going on. And in the inside, I know you're hurting something. I'm like, what's really going on? What's wrong with you? I need you to call. I need you to tell me and make sure that everything's good. But
That's very true. She does.
I do.
That's one of the days on my
what's
head.
going on? What? I heard what?
Right. What's going on? What's going
You
on?
resting? Okay, thanks.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's serious. It's real. It's big.
So tell us about your tattoo.
My tattoos. So actually, all of my tattoos on my right arm, at least, has something to do with lupus. Here it spells out lupus, living under pressure, ultimately surviving.
Yes.
And that is definitely what I go by day by day. There is a saying that I have lupus, but lupus doesn't have me.
Wow.
And every day I try to live by that because it's very easy to become consumed with lupus. And if you allow it, it will take over you. Depression, because it literally changes your life. You know, at a point I was running. I loved running. Now I can't think about it. You know, it's something that I still would love to be able to do. And yeah, I push my luck sometimes, but again, my body tells me, girl, sit it on down. Like, and then in order for it to not take over me, I try to just find alternate things to do, like the elliptical instead, you know, the bike instead. So that way it doesn't steal all of my joy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's another way to kind of get over, you know, that sadness that you feel when you feel like you can't, or something's taking something away from you. Just always find alternates.
So when you found out you had lupus, is there like national support groups? Like, what did you do to educate yourself about it?
Initially, when I found out I had lupus, it was probably about, how old am I? Let's not say that on camera. It was almost 16 years ago. There wasn't very much out. There wasn't any support groups that I was aware of. They didn't even know. A lot of the doctors didn't know what it was, what it looked like. You know, a lot of the medicines, I was like a test dummy, and they would make it clear. You know, hey, you're
Let's
the first,
see what happens.
Yeah, and Ben Lisley, you know, you're the first African American to let us try this. Can we do a report on you?
Yeah.
Type deal. So it wasn't a lot out there, but now it's everywhere.
Right.
You know, it's awesome support groups. Even lupus.org that has a lot of information. Myself, I have an Instagram, cure_lupus_ that I give tremendous amount of information about lupus, about drugs that's used, you know, experiences, you know, myself. So definitely it's things out there for support. That's a great question.
So have you found any local groups here in Arizona?
Myself, I haven't.
Okay.
I just kind of, you know how I am too. I'm kind of a loner. I like to look things up on my own and just go from there. That's just me because I like to intake things, and I mean it's probably not the greatest thing, but that's me. That's who I am. You know, that's
Tell
how
us,
I.
Sherry, tell us.
That's how I get.
What?
Right. That's how I get through things.
Okay. So we know that you and Sherry have a history with each other, but how can we help you as your new sisters bring lupus to the forefront in Arizona and help expand it on a national approach?
That would be awesome. Really, there's walks. There's a lot of walks that they do in different states. Right now, there's one available in Arizona. Unfortunately, it's virtual right now, but it's still a great help. That's October 16th, I believe, and you can register. You can make your own team, or you can join a team if you don't want.
Lupus team.
And that's another thing. Yes, I've had different teams
Yeah.
in the past. I've spoken in a lot of these walks when they weren't virtual, of course. But you can make your own team, or you can join a team if you don't want to make a team.
Okay.
Lupus.org, October 16th. That's in Arizona.
Okay.
And I heard her say, harass her, call her, text her, and keep doing it until she responds. That was my takeaway.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
So about that,
Don't put us on the
I was gonna say you might not want to harass her.
Yeah.
Just double checking and then making sure that she's good is all that I ever do. Because I really know how difficult it's been for her. Because we've been friends like, what, 20 years now?
20 plus.
And so it's just watching her have her son and going through that difficulty when they told her that she wasn't going to be able to have kids. And so that was a miracle. Because I remember she was in the hospital for like a month. No, I mean, just being in the hospital, just kind of up in the air, not knowing if you're going to even be able to give birth.
Yes.
Then right before then, she had lost so much weight, like I couldn't even recognize who she was. So it's
I wouldn't
just
mind having a little bit let
let off
But
that,
you-
like a little bit, just
Right.
just stop.
Right.
I don't know. I just know that she is a warrior. Like she's been through the ringer, and every day she gets up with a smile on her face, and anytime she can help anyone, she's on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been there for me going through tough times when I didn't know what I was gonna be able to do, if I was gonna have to live on the street. I was like, call her, I need some money. She helped me out when I was
That's what
going
we
through breakups. She right there just, and I know she has so much going on, but you never can see it. And she's always been like my number one fan. I love her.
That's so warm and fuzzy.
I know.
So we had fun in the beginning, then we got educated, then it was really depressing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, you're a rock star, and you should check on you, and if you need help, have her help you. If she feels useful, that helps with this.
Exactly.
I love it. I have so much stuff for you to do. Yeah, I'm gonna text you as soon as we stop.
Right. But that is a way of support too. Don't look at me as a case. Don't carry a case.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm still Lyneé. You know, I'm still crazy. I'm still happy.
Everybody in their place.
That's right. You know what I mean? I'm still here to help. You know,
Okay.
but hey, that's it. You know, call every blue moon.
Every blue moon. Okay.
Blue moon like that.
Yeah.
This one don't know what that means. But yeah.
I'm behind the curtain.
Oh my god.
But that's about it.
Okay.
Yes.
This was a great turtle talk. I'm looking forward to more inspirational kumbaya.
Yes.
Definitely. I appreciate you
If
ladies
you ever
joining
need
me
any
on this
type
convo.
of stress relief activities, call me because I need to lose some of this donut weight.
That girl.
So she could coach you while you run, because she can't run now. But she could be like, yo, kick it.
You walking too slow.
Okay.
Well, we need to find someone
I
both
can do
can
that.
participate
You
in.
know what?
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna join the virtual run and just prep for that. So maybe we can virtually train each other. So I can.
That
train
would be
for
awesome.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
So, and you talked about the lupus support group, but in IOTA land, we're your support group too. So thank you for educating us. And
Of
Now I know
course. I'm
some
glad you ladies really did join me. I hope you learned something.
I did.
Any other questions? I would love to answer. Know that I did want to say that there's several different types of lupus, but the two main lupus that people are most affected by is systemic lupus and discoid lupus. Discoid lupus is of the skin. It more or less attacks the skin, but her sister and I suffer from the system, more of the system, which is, it can affect anything from the brain, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the skin, All of your major organs are affected. In my case, it's lupus nephritis, which is of the kidney. And as of now, I am at stage 6. So stage 6 is pretty much the highest stage that you can be at, to where I do need a kidney transplant. And hopefully, you know, with us talking about this, there will be more people that's willing to donate, more people that's more aware of how serious this is.
Right.
Because the more donations we can get, the more research we can get, the faster a cure we can get. So people don't have to be at this stage and deal with these type of things. So I'm glad we had this conversation. So hopefully the word gets out, more help, and that would be amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today in our conversation in reference to lupus. We wanted to educate you today, and we hope that you got valuable information.
Yes.
Something very important to know is that lupus is 3 times more common in African American women than Caucasian women. So definitely be aware of the symptoms. Make sure that you're getting checked out if you feel any symptoms that we spoke about today.
Exactly.
Definitely triple check. In my situation, I actually had to go to the hospital about 3 or 4 times before they could come up with a diagnosis. The problem was, again, that lupus looks like several different diseases. I was told again that I had MS. I was told that I had the flu about 3 times, and I was sent home with Motrin 800. I don't know how many times. And you know, at that point, I had the discoid lupus, other than the systematic lupus. So it can definitely look like different things. If you're feeling uncomfortable with the diagnosis that you're given, go to another doctor. It's okay. You know, it's your body. You need to listen to your own body. Definitely get that checked out. Know that May is Lupus Awareness Month, so I am asking, begging, that you definitely visit lupus.org and please, please, please donate. Right now, research is the biggest thing that we need. There is no cure for lupus right now. There's no specific drug for lupus right now, so the more research, the better. The more you give, the more research, the faster we can get to a cure.
Exactly.
You know, so other women won't have to go through, you know, the things her sister and I have been through, or be at the stage that we are. Maybe there can be a cure before then, so we can help someone else get actually after us. So if you have any questions, please feel free. Reach out to me. You can reach out to me at Instagram, which is cure_lupus_. Any questions are relevant. There's no silly questions. I definitely would love to hear from you. Again, you know, I'm here for you. Please reach out to me if possible. You can also reach me at info@zetacapla1929.org.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you
Hopefully
so
we
much.
see you again.
Just thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I learned a lot today too that I didn't know.
But that's all I wanted. You know, I wanted to be able to reach out to people, educate people, and
we're gonna get a cure for this because I'm tired.
exactly. Thank you so much for joining us.